These days, everybody wants to become a programmer, but the question is, there are so many languages, which one should I learn? So in this video, we are going to discuss in detail what are those 3 top programming languages which you can learn and which can actually help you grow your career. So if you're a beginner or if you want to switch your career into IT, this is a must-watch video in case if you want to become a programmer. Okay, so the first language which you should be targeting is Java. Now, if you're a beginner as a programmer, if you're just starting with programming, this is one of the, I would not say the best language, but yes, it is one of the good language to get started with because it follows object-oriented programming concepts which are widely used in all the major applications which are running in the world, probably running right now and probably which will run in future. So you have to understand that Java is going to give you an edge over different programming languages if you want to get started with. So if you have the skill set of Java, it is going to actually give you a lot of enhancement in your career, and you can go to Google, you can search for what is the package which is being paid to the people who are actually having an experience in Java. All the big companies, if I talk about myself, there are so many people, there are so many big companies who reach me out. They want their workforce to be trained in Java because I receive calls daily that they want the people to be trained in Java. So you have to understand all the major companies, all the major applications, at least in India, are powered by Java, and they need someone to actually make them better. The language is constantly evolving. It is a free language, so you have to understand like it has huge amount of potential. And finally, the biggest advantage here is that it is one of the oldest language. I would not say the oldest, but yes, this is one of the oldest language. So community support as well as the job applications around this language is there. Finally, this language has a great relationship with data. So if you aspire to become a coder, but in future you're looking for your career in data science, data analytics, if you possess the skill set of Java as a programming language, it is going to be considered as a bonus compared to just a skill set which you have, which we don't need. Okay, next recommendation in my list is also my personal favorite, Python. Python is again one of the oldest language in the industry, but the question is why Python is getting so much boom around the industry, if I may. First of all, it is very easy to learn. The syntax, if I may, if you have not done any programming right now, the syntax of Python matches a lot with English. So if you're going to read the code of Python, you will feel like, okay, I'm reading the code of English. I just want to mention one thing. It is not like English, but it is similar to what English is represented. Like if you're writing a program in English, this is what Python would be able to do. So that is the first advantage. Second advantage you get is a lot of developers are actually quite active in this. So there are so many libraries around almost everything. Major libraries are all around data. So if you aspire to become a data scientist, if you aspire to become someone who has the skill set related to data, Python is going to be one of the biggest, or I should say strongest weapon under your belt, if I may. So you have to understand Python is going to give you an edge compared to the other programming languages which are there. Now the question could be, if Python is there, why we should learn Java? If Java is there, why we should learn Python? You have to understand every language has its advantages as well as its disadvantages. So Python is an interpreted language. That means it interprets the code line by line, while in Java it is a compiled language. So the code is executed, like the whole compilation of the code is must. Again, that is the basic difference. But if I may, a lot of developers are focusing towards Python because it is very easy to integrate any application related to artificial intelligence or big data using Python compared to Java. So in comparison, I would say Python has a better go. Okay, so this is also one of the programming languages which you can learn, and it is also going to give you the advantage, especially in 2022 and beyond. Last but not the least, everyone's favorite, JavaScript. But why? First of all, we have to understand, if you want to learn JavaScript, you don't have to download any different software. You don't have to download any compiler, interpreter. If you have the internet, if you have the browser, that is it. You don't need any special tool set, if I may, to learn this specific programming language, if I may. Secondly, this a language is so integrated with various applications. These days, people are not only building front-end application, if I may, using JavaScript, which used to be the, I should say, sort of a sole bread and butter for JavaScript. Now people are also building back-end application. If you have heard about company named Uber, it's built on JavaScript. Its servers, or I should say its algorithms, and I would say its whole infrastructure is powered using JavaScript. So you have to understand it has huge amount of potential. But I'm not limited to that also. I can also build iOS plus Android application also using JavaScript. I can use tools like React.js, if I may. I should say React.js as a framework. I can use that, so I can build Android as well as iOS application. Am I stopping there? No, I'm not stopping there. I can also start building desktop application. Desktop applications I've just mentioned as DA. Finally, I can also build dApps, which is decentralized applications which are powered by blockchain. So you have to understand all these languages, if I may, have their pros, but if I talk about specifically related to JavaScript, JavaScript is sort of not controlled by anyone, so that is why there is so much innovation happening around it. If you talk about, it is one of the most powerful, or if I may, it is the only language which is actually powering all the web which you can see right now. Okay, so I would say JavaScript is the next, or I should say the third language which you should master in 2022. If you're starting your career, this could be one of the good languages to get started, and you can actually start your career and you can make it a big career. Okay, so obviously now the question is, I'm confused, which language should I get started with? Obviously the three languages which you have mentioned are there, but if I want to get started with, what is the one language I should be learning? So I want to mention one thing. If you are inclined towards, I should say, desktop based application or server based application which you want to build, in that case, or I should say in case you want to make sure that you are actually talking to the core of operating system or a hardware, even though that is not possible with the various other languages, but yes, the closest language with which you can actually play this gamble is Java. So that is one language. Let's say you want to actually go into data science, if you want to go into data analytics and different stuff, or I should say you want to move to cloud, or if you want to integrate with various other languages or framework, in that case, I would say that you should go with Python. If you want to build heavy web application, I should not say heavy web application. If you want to build web application, desktop applications, if I may, mobile applications, if I may, or I should say blockchain based application, in that case, I would say that you should go with JavaScript. There is a good possibility that you can become a full stack Java developer, you can become full stack Python developer, you can become full stack JavaScript developer, but you have to understand all these languages have their strong point as well as their weak point. So you have to understand, if you are choosing a career and if you are not sure what is the right career, in that case you should decide, because after that you will be able to make the gamble. But I want to assure you one thing. If you're going to start with any of these languages, they are not going to hurt you, because obviously these are tried and tested languages and they have huge potential in 2022 and beyond. So that is it for this video, guys. In case if you have a question, put that in the comment of this video. And if you need a career guidance related to what is the right path for you, obviously in that case, there is a link which is given in the description of this video. Click that link, fill in the details, and someone from our team will assist you with your right career path.